Let me ask you this. Are we really lucky that women want equality and not revenge? At least according to this popular phrase circulating the internet. Well, the Hulu series Furious suggests that not all women want one or the other.
And that's the world that makes sense. Women are supposed to be hit and raped and go away and die quietly, not start murdering people.
So telling stories about one doesn't diminish the importance of the other. And when we usually see stories about revenge, what perpetrates that revenge in the first place?
Victims of violence are the most violent. Don't you think so?
Furious follows an FBI agent on the hunt for a female serial killer. But what immediately stood out to me is how much humanity exists around the story.
Female killers know their victims. They kill for power, control. Being a victim of violence makes you colder, more calculating.
There is violence, trauma and hurt, but also moments of tenderness and vulnerability.
I've been thinking about what you said about
Get married.
Okay.
Okay, like. Okay.
Okay.
Well, usually, this is where I get down on one knee.
And on top of that, although it's promoted as a crime drama series, loosely inspired by the 1987 film Black Widow, it doesn't shy away from humor.
My son's needed 24-hour care for most of his life. So I'm not intimidated by your bullshit.
Oh. What happened? Did his body stop working? Right when he saw your face?
Many of its characters are traumatized, complicated people trying to figure out themselves while trying to understand the people around them.
Is that what you want?
What?
Your face, something hurting you like that. No, seriously,
Wow.
I mean, I don't get it. Could you just explain it to me?
No, not really.
No, seriously, I'm not trying to be a
Oh?
I don't get it.
I don't give a shit how you feel about it.
Believe me, I know. Does it make you happy?
Yeah. Yeah. When it's happening, yeah.
Good. Look, I want you to be happy.
You want me to be happy if it makes sense to you. This is who I am right now. And I don't need you to tell me I'm amazing and try to save me. I don't want you to keep saving me.
Nobody here is perfect.
And they're all incredibly conflicted. They don't have the tools necessarily to navigate this like rocky road. They're traumatized people trying to help traumatized people, and that gets tricky.
And the show still aims to point out the systemic violence against women and children and the lack of protection for victims and punishment for perpetrators.
I need to know we're all on the same page about the focus of this investigation.
So yes, the story is about a female serial killer, but it's also about a woman who was trafficked and abused and who is killing now the men who abused her after the system that was supposed to protect her failed her.
Lots of women have terrible lives and not all of them start to kill. So why does someone start to murder people?
It successfully asks, where were the systems that were supposed to protect those kids and women? Why are powerful men so often protected by money, access, and institutions? Why does accountability suddenly become much easier when the person committing the violence is the woman who survived it?
It doesn't matter. Anything you do, the ones who are really to blame don't get caught. Never. Never.
And considering some of the conversation we're having right now about powerful men and the systems surrounding them, due to the real events that continue this cycle of abuse, misconduct, and suffering, one can see what this story wants to tell us beyond the screen.
You know the story of Medusa?
With snakes in her hair?
Her hair is snakes. She's so ugly, she kills men with one look. And you know how she got that way? She got raped by Poseidon.
Using the mythological tale of Medusa as a narrative device, it cleverly restores so much of her cultural legacy, because usually her story revolves around the monster she became instead of why she became the monster.
The god of the ocean rapes her in Athena's temple, but Athena decides that's Medusa's fault and turns all her beautiful golden hair into snakes. She's a victim. It turns her into a monster.
But the show aims to challenge that, like other popular retellings of the story. Like Ayena's Gray's book, I, Medusa.
Being a victim of violence and then becoming a perpetrator of violence and how that happens and why that happens. That was always a North Star for me, and specifically being a woman in that cycle. And that's where Medusa came too. I mean, that image really was stuck with me. I was like reading that myth to my kid as I was writing the pilot script. I was like reading it from a book of mythology. I was reading it and I was like, this is exactly what I'm writing in this show. And I remember kind of going back and like putting it in, and that idea has definitely stuck with the show. And again, makes you think like, wow, this has also been something that's been around for a really long time. You know, I think that's like an important thing to think about too.
There is an entire spectrum of human emotion depicted here, while exploring sex work, childhood trauma, disability, institutional power, and the lives of people who we rarely get to see on screen with this much interiority, without turning this entire thing into trauma tapping.
Yeah, well, we all have something. That's what I'm saying. That's the world that makes sense.
And for sure, I'm not saying that this show is perfect and it will change everything. But we have always used stories to reflect society back to us. Similar movies have done this, like The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, the Swedish version specifically because the protagonist's story is central. It doesn't revolve around a man.
Monsters are made because of violence or trauma or whatever that is put upon someone. They're not just born that way.
So any piece of media that makes you question a system that supposedly protects women and children, while at the same time is handling their experiences with understanding and care, is exactly what allows us to question first and then see how the system has failed them. Exactly like the story of Medusa.
And the title of the show, Furious, is from Greek mythology, from the three Furies, who were goddesses of vengeance.